Everyone, welcome to the Hoops Post Up, your source for all things NBA. My name is Pierre, and with me is my beautiful wife, Velma.
Hi, everyone.
We're here to talk NBA because that's what we do. We're avid fans, always keeping up with the latest news and trying to keep you informed. Let's talk about a team that's been in the news, and that would be the Houston Rockets. There
Okay,
could
so
be some more
everyone wanted to
problems.
know like how Harden and Westbrook were going to do together, right? We wanted to see how it would all unfold. We wanted to see if they were able to get back on the court and compete and still be relevant, right, for their team.
Mhm.
So, what's happening? I don't know. I have not seen as much as I would have expected to see from them.
And now you look at the numbers, say, well, Harden's still scoring just like he always does. Westbrook is doing
Westbrook
his
is still
thing.
averaging 21
Getting,
points. He had done that even back when he was in OKC, 21, 22, 25. Like those were his averages.
mhm.
So why is it that they're not up, I guess, in their record as I would have expected them? I was thinking
Mhm.
top three, right? At this point. No, it hasn't been a whole lot of games, but we're thinking top three teams. They're actually, what, 8 seed?
Not just that, but some of the losses have been ugly losses. And so,
Do you think maybe they're just playing down to those teams and not giving the respect that they
not so
should?
fast. So you say, okay, it's easy to brush off a bad
Uh,
game. Obviously, you got blown out. Um, Poor effort, just no effort really against Miami. Lost by 29. I think they were losing by more than that in the first half.
yeah.
Okay, that's it. One game, get over it. But when you look under the surface, even their wins are kind of ugly wins.
Can we say Houston, we've got a problem?
I'd say Houston, we have multiple problems. We've never been huge fans of the D'Antoni coaching style.
Oh, no, no, not at all. I mean, I believe in the defense. I think defense needs to be,
Defense wins
oh my
championships, even in
gosh,
basketball.
for sure.
Mhm.
So no, it's true.
You need
It's
some
true.
defense.
Come
All right,
on.
you need some defense,
Come on.
right?
No, defensive teams. Check out the Lakers now. Watch their defense. Pretty impressive.
Absolutely, definitely giving effort. And so we know they're not going to play defense. They're not going to try to play defense because they don't care. D'Antoni doesn't care about
They really
defense.
don't try.
No. Um, but the question is, I know you said a lot of people had them at least up there with Lakers and Clippers as a top three, maybe surprise contender to take down one of those teams now that Westbrook is there. But can a team that has a defensive rating that currently is 28th out of 30 teams, can that kind of team actually slow down LeBron, Kawhi, players like that in the playoffs?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like I experienced that last year with my team, right? The Spurs had a horrible defensive rating. And where did we end up? We were out. Eight
Bounced.
seed. We were out.
Give it a good
So
run though.
we
I mean,
did for what we had. But that being said, without that defense, it always happens to the Rockets. I'm sorry.
it's the
You
same
stick with
story.
that coach, you stick with D'Antoni, you're not going to go very far.
And
Sorry.
we know that Harden, of course, is the leader here. The fact that he's going to pad his stats, he's going to get his points, and he's going to just watch guys blow by him and do the same. So that aside, though, let's look at what has happened so far in the first couple of weeks. Again, when you look at the stats, you can say they're still scoring just as well. They can outscore certain teams, but they are barely doing so. And if you look at their record, is 4-3, which is maybe okay, a little disappointing, not a big deal. It's still
Right,
early.
right.
But their victories, who have they come against? Who are they actually beating so far
Yeah.
with this new tandem?
So far, they've beaten the Wizards, the Grizzlies, and then of course they would, right?
Beat
OKC,
OKC. Yeah, a
yeah,
little revenge there for
and then
Westbrook.
the
The
Pelicans.
Pelicans. Okay, so as you might know, these are not contending teams. You have teams here with record of 2-4, 1-6, 2-4, one
And
and
one in
five.
five.
Not only losing
Wow.
teams, but these are teams that are guaranteed to not make the playoffs almost. I'm sorry, New Orleans is not making the
Yeah,
playoffs.
yeah.
And then that loss the other day to the Heat, again, it got blown out. And okay, well, they lost. I know you called this game, right? When
Yes,
they
I
played
did.
Brooklyn.
Yes, I
She called
did.
this last
I
week.
did. I did.
So why would you think that Brooklyn would beat the Rockets though? Because that to me it seems like
They're hungrier. They want it more. They have better defense. I don't know. Kyrie's on fire.
Kyrie is on
He
fire, and that's all it
is.
takes. But at the
Yes.
time, okay, so the Nets 2-4. The teams that the Nets have beaten are all bad teams. Rockets aside, I guess. They beat New Orleans and they beat the Knicks. So even when the Rockets win, they're beating up just on bad teams,
Mhm.
and they're not even losing to top flight teams. So should be concerned the fact that there is no defense. And here's the interesting thing: what's the real issue here? Okay, is it Harden? Is it Westbrook? Is it D'Antoni? Is it lack of bench depth? I mean, what is it?
I'd have to look at the bench numbers a little bit deeper to actually fully say, but from what I've seen, I don't think you can blame Westbrook or Harden. They're doing their part. They're keeping their numbers. They're aggressive. They're making their shots. Their percentages are up. Uh, always.
So
D'Antoni for
Westbrook,
me.
well, Harden, his points are actually going up. His usage, believe it or not, we
Yeah.
were thinking, okay, with Westbrook, how's that going to work out? The interesting thing is that Harden, his usage is going up with Westbrook on the court at the same time.
Mhm.
It's up to 40.8%, I think, something insane. Westbrook's usage is always insane, but it's going down. So interesting here. So leading the league in usage, not surprising here if you follow
Mhm.
NBA at all. Harden was at 36.1% 2 years ago, 40.5% last year. Now it's at 40.9%. It's
Wow.
going up even with Westbrook there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Westbrook, his usage actually is going a little bit down. So, do you think the whole idea of Westbrook deferring more and Harden somehow handling the ball even more is that a detriment to the
What
team?
have we always said, right? We've always said it's not just the one or the two, it's about the team. We've got to maybe look in to see what the other players are doing, what the bench is
Gee,
doing.
that's a thought. Maybe have five guys playing basketball, not just one. We all stand around and watch Harden drive and
It's
flop,
true,
and
though. It's true. It doesn't matter how many points one guy or two guys get put it up. It has to be a collective
has
team.
to be a team game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk to you about the comments that if you're watching Kevin McHale made the other day at Inside the NBA.
Yes. Oh my
I thought this was
gosh.
really interesting because there was a comment when they got blown out and gave zero effort. And then the day after, they said, well, Westbrook is going to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Westbrook is not a guy who's, I mean, he's known to be a warrior. He's a guy who will play every
Right.
game. He doesn't have
He wants to be on
injuries,
the court. He seems to want to be on the
but now they're doing load
court.
management.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this maybe ego management?
Maybe.
I mean, that's the way I see it.
I thought it was really interesting what Mikhail said, right? He's like, are you kidding me? What is this management stuff? If I was there, I would want to be on the court and play. He's thinking,
Well, if anything, I would want to be out there more to play,
yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
to
saying.
prove.
Oh
So,
my
does that
gosh.
say something about the effort this team is going to put forth? Or do you think that maybe we don't blame Westbrook for this because that's a coaching
Well, who's
decision?
controlling? That's exactly right. Who's controlling his minutes? Who's controlling that?
That's
Is it really
ultimately
him?
that's the coach. But then you could
Well,
say,
I don't
well,
know. In
he
past
could go tell the coach,
experience,
Coach, I'm
it
not sitting
was
this
in
out.
past experience. I've seen a player who said, I'm injured, I'm hurt, I'm sitting for an entire year.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I want to
Whatever.
get into that.
Yeah.
But the coach, I mean, at this point, there's no coach that has power over a superstar player, right? If
No.
the star player says, I'm sitting, I'm sitting. And if he says,
But
Coach, I don't care what you say,
why?
I'm
That's what
playing.
I want to know. What's the problem? Why?
So maybe we're seeing a more passive Russell Westbrook?
I can't imagine. Like, this is what you look
That's
for.
that's
Play
the
with your own
question.
buddy again. I
Deferring a
don't
little bit more to
know.
Harden, sitting out, that's the thing to look for. I'm not calling him out, not saying he's not a competitor. He's definitely one of the most competitive players in
Passionate
the
about his
league, which
game,
is why
absolutely.
it's kind of puzzling to
It
see this
is
happen.
puzzling. Tell us what you think. Comment below. Give us what your thoughts are. We want to hear from you. Love to have that talk.
Is Westbrook going to be different now? Maybe defer a little too much in Houston. That's the question. And so I know we're kind of the same opinion here. Long-term prognosis, is Houston going to fix this problem? And do you think they're still a top three team? Whether you think it's LA and LA ahead of them, doesn't matter. Do you still see them as a top tier team?
Yes, I do actually. I mean, it's early on in the season. Maybe they're just working out some things. Maybe just like anybody, right? You start off, you're starting off a little slow, not really much urgency, paying a little bit passively. I don't know. But what I think is they'll eventually work it out and make an impact on the end.
They're a team that definitely has the motivation, right? They all want to prove that they can get that championship. Um,
Keep trying.
so they definitely should fix these issues. There's no reason with that roster. There's no reason they
Oh my
shouldn't
gosh,
be.
no.
Uh, but I'll say it just like I always say, D'Antoni, Harden, and Westbrook, to me, those are guys, they're not going to win a championship just because D'Antoni's style doesn't play in the playoffs when you have a 7 game series where
Not
you
when you have
actually have to
seventh
make critical
game.
stops. Nope.
No, it doesn't happen.
Harden is just not clutch. At me all you want. I will say it until he proves me wrong and wins a game 7 or wins a ring. Harden is not clutch, and he's proven that. And then I love Westbrook personally, but I just don't think it's going to happen this year. So I think they might finish top 4 record wise,
Yeah, yeah,
and they're going to get bounced in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm sorry, Western Conference Finals.
yeah.
Even if they get there, they might get bounced in the semis.
It's possible.
But that's just me.
No defense.
What do you guys think? Does Houston have a problem? Or are we just making too much of this too early? Hit us up on Twitter at HoopsPostUp. Instagram, we have an account there too. And of course, leave a comment below right after you've hit that subscribe button.
Hit that notification bell as well. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for watching. We appreciate all of our viewers. Peace and love.
All right. Peace out.